You guys are welcome back to this particular video. In this video, we'll be talking about padding, margin, and a concept that is called box sizing as well. So let's go ahead. So normally in CSS, they call this box model. So I'll create a new front user faction and let's just call this box dash model. All right, .html. Okay, we normally used to add number in front of it, right? This is our fourth video. All right, cool. Then in our user fashion DOC to create our basic structure, let me close all of this. Then, and I'm still just going to create a simple div as usual, and go ahead here, create a style as usual, give it my width to just create a simple box. Same thing, doing it over and over. Create a simple box, call this 100px, give it height, call it like okay, do you know what, let's not give it height, right? Let's not give it height, let's just give it a background color, and let's say red for example, right? So now we're going to write some sample text here, so let us say sample text here and save. So in our usual fashion, let's go back and refresh this, open with, yep, let's open it down here. So this is what we've done without giving it width and height. So this is how it appears. So the first thing we want to talk about is padding. So in box model, we have like spaces, we have padding and margin. So padding is the space inside the elements that we are trying to create, while margin is the space outside the element. So let's try it out. So if I come over here now and I say padding, and I give it like a particular figure, say padding 20px, right? So and I refresh. So what happens is that there's a 20px padding around this particular text, the content, in the same way that if we increase it by, let's say, 50, so we have like 50 padding around this particular space. Now, but the good thing is, let's say we want the padding to be in one end. Let me comment out this line. Let's say we want the padding to just only be from one end, so we can have padding top, padding right, padding bottom, right? So if we say padding top and we say, let's say we want to give it like 30px for padding top, and I go back and I refresh it, so now you are going to see that the space inside is only going to be at the top of it. This is going to be padding top, right? The same way I can say, okay, I just want just padding bottom to be 30px. I want padding left to be 30px, and padding right to be 30px as well, right? So this is what we're going to have. So what this just did for us is that the first one, add padding top, padding left, padding bottom, all for 30px. That's what these 4 lines is doing. But if I comment out these 4 lines and I leave this, and let's change this back to 30px. So this one line, when you just say padding, it's applying the padding to the 4 edges, both top, left, right, and bottom. That's what this one line is doing. But if you want to specify just on one edge, you can now use this other padding top, padding left, padding right, and the rest. You say, okay, I just want the space to be on one edge. So that's what we get there. So at the same time, again, another thing I want to treat, what if we just want to have the padding top and bottom and we don't want it to be by the left? So the way we do that one is so there's a 4-way, we have this stuff what we call top. We can say 30px. This will give us top and bottom. Why, let me make something very big now. Let's say 100px. This will give us left and right. So this is it now. So you see, this is 100 left, 100 right, top and bottom is equal to 30. So if I increase this to 50, so you see the difference now, right? This is top and bottom. So if you want just 2 edges, padding top, padding bottom, so this is like a short way of writing these things. Now, another thing I want to also treat is the margin. So as I said, margin is the space outside. Margin just like padding. The difference is that margin is outside the element and padding is inside the element. So if I say margin 30px, so what this thing will do for us is that it's going to apply margin of 30px around this particular, the space outside it is going to be 30px, right? So that's what it does. So in the same way too, we also have margin, am I right? We also have margin top. We have just margin top, margin bottom. See, this is just only top. We also have margin top, margin bottom, margin right, and the rest. So, but there's one aspect of margin that I really love, For us to implement that, I would love to add a width. Let's say we want this stuff to be width of 400 px, and this stuff is going to look like this, but we want it to be centralized at the middle, so we're going to give it a margin, and that margin now is going to be what? O2. So when the margin is O2, the element centralized to the middle of that particular container, right? It's centralized to the middle of that particular container. And you know these things whereby you want to like log into an app and this stuff is at the middle. This is basically how it's being done. This is how basically it's being done, and so on and so forth, right? So you might actually want to make use of that. So that is how you apply padding and margin inside of CSS. The next thing I want to talk about is a little bit like that, and that one is what we call box sizing. So sometimes okay, let me type lorem and see what will happen here. So sometimes when you apply padding, it increases the width. Okay, let's create another div. Let's see what happens if we create another div here. All right, let's create another div and let's give this div a class instead. Let's just call it box, and in the box div, let's see if this is going to make sense. In the box div, we have add dot in front. We have a width of 400 px and a height of, let us say 50 px, doesn't matter. Let's just give it any background of our choice. Can give it like green or so. Yeah, that's cool. Write this other div, let's give it a class too. Let us call it like box 1 or something, right? So we change this selector here to box 1. Alright, cool. So it's not affected. So this is what we are talking about. Alright, let me give this stuff margin 2. Let me say margin on 2. Perfect. Alright, let's see what we have. So now notice something. Notice that the width of this thing is 400 and the width of this is also 400. But for some certain reason, this red one looks wider. It looks it has more width than the green one. Why? It is because of the padding. So basically what this stuff is doing is that it has added this 400 plus this padding left and right, which is basically 100 to make it like 600. So if you want to get that exact width, this one now is automatically 600 because this is the original 400. It now added the padding of 100 here, 500, on that 100 here, that is 600, right? But if we don't want the padding to increase the width, the original width of our container, so that is where box sizing comes into play. So if we say box sizing property, I will say border box. So now no matter the padding, it's not going to increase the width of that particular element. So this is what it's going to be. It's going to ensure that that particular element remains at 400 px no matter what, just by adding this particular box sizing, and it's not going to increase the width, right? So that is box sizing border box actually helps us to solve that particular problem, right? So thank you guys for watching this particular video. We just discussed CSS box model, padding and margin, and as well as box sizing properties, right? So see you guys in the next video, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel to get notifications, and when other videos drop, so you'll be notified. And drop a comment, let me hear you guys out if you guys are really understanding these things or not. So see you guys in the next video.